A very good evening and welcome. This is News First Weekend on MTV and Shakti TV. I'm Ramesh Bandar, joining you from a brand new studio. Let's start off with a look at the headlines.
Coastal cleanup commences under the patronage of the President. Minister Mangala Samaraweera comments on the reality on Geneva.
Mahinda Rajapaksa විදුලිපුටුවේ තමයි යවන්න හදනෝ කිය කෑ ගගහ ගියා. එයා දන්නේ යුරෝපයේ කොහොමත් විදුලිපුටුවක් නැහැ කියලා.
JVP questions the investigations against the corrupt.
බැනුම් කර සිද්ධිය සම්බන්ධයෙන්. දැන් ඒකත් නැහැ. දැන් අවන්ගාඩ් එකේ නඩුවක් නැහැ.
Two arrested over the murder of Seya Sadewmi. Elephant flares provided to villagers battered by the human-elephant conflict with the intervention of Newsfirst.
On to our first story tonight. An island-wide coastal cleanup program was initiated today in line with International Coast Cleanup Day. The program commenced under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
The national ceremony to commence the cleanup program was held at the Golf Race Green this morning. The program is organized by the Marine Environment Protection Authority. President Sirisena also took part in the initiative to clean up the coast of Sri Lanka in line with International Coastal Cleanup Day, which falls on the third Saturday of September every year.
It is quite important that we as a government keep the coastal areas of our island clean. Everyone in this country has a responsibility to keep their respective coastal areas clean. All of us have to take up this big responsibility in doing so, which is why all of us have come together today for this endeavour on International Coastal Cleanup Day.
24% of Sri Lanka's total land area is considered coastal habitat. Around 4.6 million people of Sri Lanka's population live along the country's coastal belt, which amounts 1,700 square kilometers. Due to humans' own negligence, the country's coastal belt is at risk of being destroyed. Experts say that it takes a staggering 450 years for a plastic bottle to decompose, while it takes 1 million years for a glass bottle to degrade.
When ocean pollution takes place, the geographical temperatures rises. This results in the ice mountains in the Atlantic Ocean to melt and cause the water levels to rise. When the water levels rise, countries surrounded by the ocean begin to sink. 36 countries are already facing this situation. The Maldives is one of them.
The national program, which is being held under the theme A Super Beach for Sri Lanka, will create awareness among the general public on protecting Sri Lanka's beaches.
This responsibility which the Marine Environment Protection Authority has undertaken will be carried out throughout this week. This responsibility has been vested on our chairman Ranjit Meghaswatha. Here His Excellency the President expects the people to implement their own mechanism to protect the coastal regions surrounding our country.
In line with the main program today, the coastal belt of the Western Province, including Mattakuliya, Crow Island, Mount Lavinia, Panadura and Kaluthura coastal belts were cleaned up.
66 centres in the Puttalam area of the northwestern province will be cleaned up tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, the 21st, we will head to Jaffna. We will clean up the entire coastal belt of the northern province. After cleaning up the coast of Galle, Mathura, Hambantota districts in the southern province, the main ceremony will be held in Galle. We have implemented this program along the coast of 17 districts.
The objective of the program is to prevent ocean pollution while raising awareness among the local populations on preventing ocean pollution in the future.
President Maithripala Sirisena says that the government hopes to increase the country's economic growth rate to 10%. The President also requested the World Bank to render its support for the proposed projects in the country when the World Bank Vice President for the South Asian region, Annette Dixon, called on the President yesterday.
President Sirisena had also requested assistance in obtaining new technology and equipment to prevent the flow of drugs and narcotics into the country. World Bank Vice President for the South Asia region, Annette Dixon, had noted that research had revealed that Sri Lanka is a centre for agriculture products. She added that the World Bank would support in uplifting the agriculture sector.
Two persons who were arrested over the murder of Seya Sadewmi, the little girl from Kotadeniya, were ordered to be remanded until the 28th of this month.
A letter reached the residents of Seya Sadeumi this morning. The letter was sent from a school calling for the interview for Grade 1 admission. Investigations still continue to locate and apprehend those who were involved in this heinous crime.
Officers attached to the Kotodeniao police had arrested 2 suspects last night over the incident and interrogated them. One of the suspects is a 17-year-old school dropout. The other is a neighbor. Based on the order obtained from the Minuwangoda magistrate, fragments of the remains extracted during the post-mortem examination have been sent for DNA tests and are being processed.
The demise of Seya Sadeumi under such tragic circumstances have opened the eyes of society to take more action to ensure that the lives of hundreds of thousands of more minors are protected. People from across the country, shocked by the death of Seya Sadeumi, demonstrated at a number of locations today as well.
I am in Makandura. The locals in the area urge the government to save the children from the criminals. They request the government to strengthen the laws and protect the future generations of the country.
We plead from the President to impose the proper punishment on the criminal who commits such heinous crimes. Send the criminals to the gallows so that such crimes are never repeated in the country. Children are like flowers. We seek that the maximum punishment be imposed so that children of this country do not meet such an unfortunate death. If the suspect is released in 10 or 20 years, the punishment is of no use. Punish them by bringing in laws. Such persons need to be publicly executed. Bring back the gallows. Listen to us, Mr. President. Execute them in public.
The body of the child, who was said to have been pushed into the sea of Koskoda by the child's father, was discovered this morning.
The body of the 1-year and 11-month-old victim was washed on the shores of Mahapalana in Koskoda.
I went home to get my umbrella, and upon leaving home for the second time around, I discovered the body stuck to the roots of a bush.
The woman who was pushed along with the child into the sea managed to save herself. The individual who was at the center of this incident was arrested while in hiding in Angunukole in Kayavala yesterday and was produced in court. The suspect was remanded until the 30th of this month.
The news. Speaking at an event in Mathura today, Foreign Minister Mangala Samaraweera commented on the OHCHR investigation report on Sri Lanka.
This event was organized to pay gratitude to Minister Mangala Samaraweera.
For the country's good luck, on the 8th of January 2015, the government changed. Once the government changed, we visited the United States of America and informed them about the vision of the path of President Maithripala Sirisena. While the whole world was watching us, in 100 days, we fulfilled what we mentioned and we proved it through our actions. We replaced autocracy with democracy. We appointed 2 talented normal officers from the north as governors. When I visited Geneva in March, I informed them that we will present a plan to go for a domestic mechanism that will be accepted by all parties. They agreed and the final report was released on Wednesday. Mahinda Rajapaksa said wherever he went that we are attempting to send him to the electric chair. He is not aware that the electric chair is not in existence in those countries, neither is the capital punishment. I need to say that it was Maithripala Sirisena, Ranil Wickremesinghe and Mangala Samaraweera who saved Mahinda Rajapaksa from the electric chair. He can go bathing in Trincomalee like a child. I wish to tell this to the others in that family who have deposited public funds in international banks. File cases, it may take time, but there will be a result.
Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Mahinda Amaravira also commented on the OHCHR at the event in Tangol to distribute fishing equipment to 4 fishermen.
Some said that the electric chair will be introduced and that the war heroes will be taken to the International Criminal Court. Some said that the political leaders will be taken to the ICC. I said it before and I say it now. We will never allow any of our war heroes or political leaders to be harmed. Today, the world appreciated the president's operations. Many countries have also commended the national government process.
In related news, upon visiting the Kuchaveli area in Trincomalee today to look into the issues faced by the people there, opposition leader R. Sambandan expressed his views on the OHCHR report on Sri Lanka, which was published recently in Geneva.
The Tamil people will not have faith in a domestic investigation because not a single domestic investigation which was carried out in the country was conducted properly. For example, a commission was appointed to investigate the incidents where 5 students were killed in Trincomalee and 18 employees of a private institution in Muttur were killed. A team of international experts were appointed to this commission. Its chairman was the former Chief Justice of India. After a couple of months when leaving the country, the facts they presented stated that the Sri Lankan government has no stability to hold an honest investigation into the violation of human rights in accordance with international standards. Therefore, we cannot place our trust on a domestic investigation. Our stance is that the law should be enacted with regard to this matter and that a guarantee of non-recurrence is given to these people.
Welcome back to the news. JVP MP Sunil Handunetti, speaking at a meeting in Mathura today, criticized the national government.
The event was held this morning to open the JVP coordinating office in Pamarana, Mathura. They required a betel leaf government to protect Mahinda. The UMP supporter wanted a UMP government, but what do they have now? A hybrid government. The commission in Geneva says that a hybrid court will be introduced. A hybrid government here and a hybrid court over there. The United National Party won. But who are the ministers? Those who were defeated are the ministers. What happened to the people? Both sides lost and the rogues in the previous government emerged victorious. During the general election, the main slogan was "Say no to the corrupt." The Sirasa channel also had separate advertisements on this. It said, "Do not vote for the corrupt and make the untainted victorious." What happened at the end? Those who were charged with dealing with ethanol and corrupt are enjoying in parliament and in cabinet. What happened to the investigation on fraud and corruption? Both sides have reached deals and are protecting the corrupt. Back then, we went to the commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption and the FCID. What has happened? When the UMP was in the opposition, they filed cases against KP. But when they are in the government, there are no charges. Why did we waste time in arresting him in Malaysia and keeping him here? What was the investigation that was conducted to prove that there are no allegations? When it is said that there are no allegations against KP, the allegations against Mahinda Rajapaksa disappear. Mahinda Rajapaksa made an allegation against the government. That was regard to the treasury bonds. That too is no more. There is no case against Avantgarde. The results of hybrid animals are dangerous. We are keeping a close watch on the outcome of this hybrid government.
Addressing a welcoming ceremony in Anuradhapura today, Minister of Rural Economy P. Harrison called for an immediate investigation into weapons being provided to Rakna Arakshan Lanka Limited illegally.
What has happened to these weapons? For whom were they used for? We strongly suspect that these weapons were used for the highly classified murders. Not only were around 3,000 firearms issued without a license, some officials at that company say that these weapons were sold to foreign countries. We asked the Inspector General of Police, is it because there are an insufficient amount of laws in the Book of Laws that certain high-ranking officials connected to these particular crimes who misuse these weapons are still at large, or is it because there are certain interferences preventing these actions?
The minister also expressed his views in response to a statement made by former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa is saying that he has no time for anything else but to report to the CID, run behind lawyers and go from court to court. But I say to Gotabaya Rajapaksa in return that due to certain actions taken by him in the recent past, the innocent people of this country suffered even more than you are right now. So it is fate that is making Gotabaya Rajapaksa go through all this trouble.
In more local news, the first phase of the National Coexistence Programme, centering Gaul, was held under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
This program was titled as the Food Festival. Food items which are unique to the various communities in the Mathura and Gaul areas were prepared at this event.
We made a promise to make this country a main tourist destination. We are now working towards it. This will see great improvement. This will not benefit the hoteliers. If there are persons in these areas who are engaged in the tourism industry and if they carry out their own small businesses, they are the ones who will benefit from this. Everyone needs to benefit from the tourism industry.
Minister of Local Government and Provincial Councils Faisal Mustafa visited Kandy today and obtained blessings from all faiths.
Minister Faisal Mustafa called on the Mahanayaka of the Askari chapter, Most Venerable Galgama Shri Attadasi Thero, and the Mahanayaka of the Malvattu chapter, Most Venerable Thibatuave Shri Somangala Thero. The Cabinet is discussing a proposal to hold the local government elections next year. There have been amendments and according to the legal provisions we can hold a vote on divisions. We hope to resolve the issues and move ahead. The Minister also engaged in religious observances at the Mira Makkam Mosque in Kandy.
In more local news, the practical training session of the awareness program jointly organized by Newsfirst and the Department of Wildlife on preventing the human-elephant conflict from escalating took place today in the Kankanigama area in Galgamura.
The first phase of the program to provide the theoretical lessons with the participation of the villagers from areas battered by the human-elephant conflict took place in Galgamo yesterday. 3 representatives were selected from each village and were raised awareness on taking precautions during an elephant attack on a village after informing the Department of Wildlife. At yesterday's event, it was revealed that there was not proper mechanism in place to provide elephant flares to the local villagers. Thereby, the village representatives were presented with elephant flares at the Galgamur Wildlife Office.
These 15 persons were provided with the elephant flares and they were training on how to use these flares. We hope to implement this program at all villages.
Eric Claude Ramanayaka, the father of former State Minister Rosisen Anayaka, passed away.
Eric Claude Ramanayaka served as a director at the Ganga Nimna Development Board. A father of 6, Eric Claude Ramanayaka was 88 years old at the time of his demise. A large group of politicians are arriving at the residence of late Eric Claude Ramanayaka down Galpota Road in Navala to pay their last respects. The final rites will be conducted at the Borala Cemetery tomorrow evening.
How do you see failure in life and how would you overcome failure?
I think I was fired 3 times, you know.
Keep trying. Always keep trying. Never stop trying.
Secret to Success. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8:55 p.m. on MTV.
The 3rd conference on the Sri Lanka-Japan Collaboration Research organized by the Sri Lanka-Japan Study Centre was held at the Peradeniya University yesterday.
The conference was held to publish the outcome of collaborative research between Sri Lanka and Japanese researchers.
As you know, Japan and Sri Lanka has had a very good relation for many years, but now I can say that there is a momentum to renew the relations. Now Sri Lanka has a new government, national unity government, and the policy which is emphasizing very much the education and also the economic growth and a balanced diplomacy between Japan is supporting the development of this exchange. We have now this center becoming a focal point of this academic relations, so we wish the centers a very good future for its activities, and we hope that this academic relation is going to become an important pillar between the 2 countries in not only in the years to come but in the decades, several decades in future.
The Institute of Engineering and Technology Sri Lanka Network held its annual general meeting in Colombo yesterday.
A group of around 150 engineers serving in the fields of electrical power, communications and ICT were in attendance for the event. At the event, Dhammika Nanayakara was appointed the new chairman of IET Sri Lanka Network.
Engineer, it is crucial to understand the nature of the profession and to be vigilant regarding the own role. Focus on identifying barriers to progress and maximize the chances of positive contribution to society. The engineering landscape is continuously changing. So while IET Sri Lanka Networks hold steadfast to our assumed roles, we know that we should not be afraid to challenge old norms.
There is a perception in Delhi that this is a government that is very conscious, unfriendly to or undermining the interests of India.
Is Sri Lanka getting closer to its enemies?
Exclusive interview with Sashi Tharoor, Congress Party MP and former veteran diplomat.
And that's a wrap of Weekend Primetime News for tonight. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Irugal Bandara. Good night.